Welcome to In Your House.
WWF In Your House is the second WWF game released on the PlayStation in 1996. It's the follow-up game to WWF WrestleMania the arcade, which was a far-fetched wrestling game that handled more like a fighting game. Well, Acclaim took it a step further with In Your House, and it really didn't go over well with the fans. Let's find out why.
Welcome everyone to the leader in sports entertainment for over 50 years. Welcome to the new WWF generation. Welcome to In Your House. We are live.
To start off, it's not your typical wrestling game. Like I mentioned before, it's more of a fighting game, almost Mortal Kombat style, complete with digitized graphics and over-exaggerated uppercuts. The wrestlers only have a handful of actual wrestling moves. The rest of the moves are different kinds of kicks and punches. Some wrestlers even have projectile moves similar to those seen in fighting games.
Congratulations.
It's definitely a button masher, though each wrestler does have a few special moves that are performed with specific button combinations. For the most part, I find myself saying the hell with remembering combos and I just start stomping away on my opponent. See those WWF logos in the ring? Those are pickups. The silver being power-ups, resulting in stuff like refilling your health, enabling combos, or speeding your wrestler up. You'll want to stay away from the red ones, as those ones can daze your wrestler and even drain your health. I find this pretty annoying as there's already enough chaos going on. I don't want to have to worry about dodging power downs. And why would a WWF logo be used in a negative light? They should have little WCW logos in there that drain your health. There's only 10 wrestlers to choose from in the game, and that's a bit disappointing. People like Mankind, Sid Vicious, Steve Austin, they were all in the WWF during the production and leading up to the game's release, but they didn't see a roster spot. And I heard a rumor years ago that Razor Ramon and Diesel were actually in the game, but due to them defecting to WCW before the game's release, they were dropped. Anyway, the 10 wrestlers in the game are HBK, Bret Hart, Ahmed Johnson, Undertaker, Ultimate Warrior, Triple H, Goldust, British Bulldog, Owen Hart, and Vader. There's 3 modes of gameplay: WWF Season, where you face every wrestler including a mirror match; Intercontinental, where you'll face off in 1-on-1, 1-on-2, and even 1-on-3 matches. Then there's the WWF Championship Mode, where you'll face off in 1-on-2, 1-on-3, and even take on the whole roster in one final match. The controls are set up for brawling. There's not even a tie-up button. To grapple your opponent, you'll have to actually press forward twice, followed by the Super Punch button. Yeah, I said Super Punch. The game features a high and low kick and punch system like most fighters, accompanied with block and run commands. So if you want to perform a finisher, you'll have to tie up first and then enter the combination for the actual finisher. That's 2 combos, and that's with a lot of craziness going on in the ring at the same time. Oh, and the finishers aren't even really finishers. I mean, you can do them whenever you want, and they don't really do much more damage than any other special moves in the game. But it's definitely cool to see them. Beat any of the game modes, and you're rewarded with a short video montage of your wrestler set to his entrance theme. I always thought this was pretty cool. Live-action videos in gaming was still fairly new, and this was an era before YouTube, DVR, and on-demand, so really, Monday nights were my only option for watching wrestling. This really did seem worth it for 15 minutes of play. Vince McMahon and Mr. Perfect handle the ringside commentary, although at times it feels like it's exclusively McMahon, as Perfect doesn't have that many lines, but regardless, I love it. I've always liked Vince McMahon on commentary. He's just so damn into it.
What a matchup this is!
There's not much in the category of music. I think the Wrestler Select screen is the only place I remember hearing any at all. The sound effects are crazy, random, loud, chaotic, so they pretty much fit the game perfectly. Are the graphics dated? Yeah, in 1995 they could have done a lot more, but do I like them anyway? Hell yeah, I do. I don't know why. Digitized graphics were the hottest thing going on in the early 90s thanks to games like Mortal Kombat, but at this point in gaming they were starting to lose popularity, and these days, looking back, they aren't so popular at all. But I love the way this game looks. It's goofy, but it's crisp and clear and runs decently smooth. But they did forget Undertaker's tattoos. Shame on them.
The Undertaker gets the win.
The level designs are ridiculous, but in a good way. Instead of typical wrestling venues, they went with over-exaggerated levels based on the wrestler's character. Bret Hart wrestles in the Hart Dungeon, complete with wood paneling that actually covered the walls. Shawn Michaels fights in a nightclub, Goldust in a movie theater lobby. I think it's great. Honestly, if you really liked WrestleMania the arcade game, I think you'll like this game. I know it gets a lot of heat, but it's a lot more playable than other wrestling titles from this era, and it's aged a lot better too. I think what happened was this game was just too little too late. There's no depth to this game. It's a 20-minute and done kind of game. The graphics were dated, it wasn't 3D, and to boot, it was kind of a slap in the face to some hardcore wrestling fans that wanted a real wrestling game. But if you're looking for a goofy, lighthearted fighting game with wrestlers in it, this is it.